Hey y'all, Instinct Survivalist here. Want to touch base with y'all just with a quick video on utilizing a blanket in several different ways. One of the main things, especially like today, it's 23 here in Georgia, 16 degrees with a wind chill. So for Georgia, that's pretty cold, especially considering it's November, not even Thanksgiving yet. Um, I know that there are areas that are colder. I understand. That's just what it is here. So let's kind of get started with this. There's a couple of different options I want to show you today. One is one that my grandfather taught me years ago. I've seen it. I've seen it in movies, if you will. I've seen it in a couple of other areas. But it's actually taking the blanket itself and using just the blanket, no other anything, just the blanket. This could be a large piece of cloth. It could be any type of blanket. I've got my wool out today. I've actually got it long ways across, so from end to end, that's the head and the toe, if you will, or the toe and the head, however you want to look at it. But actually take the blanket and take one area or take one section, kind of fold it up and put it up over your neck. When you do that, you'll see it becomes real tight. You get a nice little pouch, if you will, but it becomes more beneficial when you take the other end and throw it up over as well. And you'll see I kind of slide my arm down. Now what this does is it kind of provides a cocoon. So you have the warmth that you're looking for. Your hands are tucked inside. You can put them in your pockets. You can do anything you need to do inside, or just keep them warm for that matter. I can walk with this. I don't have to worry about it falling off. I said my grandfather called it an old Indian trick. Maybe I don't know what its origin is. It may just be craftiness, if you will. But that's one way to do things. There's a downside to this. If you look, pushing against the sides, that's it. I don't have a lot of flexibility. I don't have a lot of functionality, and so I can't use my hands. And so the other way to do this is to actually take, and I've seen many videos that have posted this, and this is not to discredit any of those folks. This is just kind of show it to you on my vision, or my version of it, if you will. And you may not have seen those videos, so that's why I do it here. But same thing, take it long ways. The difference is now I can take it and put it over my head to provide kind of a hood, if you will. In that, what I do is I actually bring the two sides together. Now, that in itself is great, but you see I'm actually holding this. I've actually still got it with my hand. I'm still utilizing my hands in this, and it doesn't provide me additional functionality. Sorry for the plane. It's just one of those things. However, so the other option in this is to actually utilize a locking mechanism. That locking mechanism can be a blanket pin. If you've got one, great. That's fantastic, but there could be a time where you don't have that as an option. So what I use is actually a rock and paracord to provide this. So what I do is I actually bring it back over, similar to what I just had it. As I bring that over, I can actually take this rock and push it through. So what I mean by push it through is actually push it to where there's actually a formation in my blanket. And so I've actually got that rock formation. You can see it there. I slide my paracord or rope or whatever over the top of it. And I actually keep a slip knot in here just so that I can do this very quickly. I cinch it up, and then that's good to go. And what that does do is, you see I've got a lot of flexibility, a lot of functionality. If I back up a little bit, you see I've got, I can take my hands all the way out to the side to fix a fire, to carry wood, to do whatever I need to do, whether it's making feather sticks or whether it is carrying a rifle, carrying a long gun, carrying a handgun, or making sure that I've got some extra functionality there. Now you can go in and go beyond this. You can put a hole in it, make a poncho, if you will. But this is kind of a way to keep the blanket intact without destroying it with either a hole or putting a blanket pin in it, because some of the blanket pins provide a very big hole. And again, with it down, it keeps it across my neck. With it up, I do have kind of a hood type thing. And you can see I do have that flexibility, if you will. Now, one other piece of this before we end is you may want to think about putting another one down a little bit lower, and the reason being is just because it kind of cinches it up a little bit more. There's a couple of other ways to do this, and you can look those up, which is to tuck it up in here and actually make sleeves. A lot of other different methods to do things. The difference is now that exposes my core, so that could be good, could be bad, depends on what I'm trying to do. If I needed that flexibility, I've got it. But then again, I can also take and bring it here, and that provides extra warmth underneath my arms and around my arms as well. So That being said, again, it's just blanket tips, tips and tricks, if you will, being able to stay warm when you need to, again, whether it's in the bush, whether it's in the woods, whether it is just in a complete survival mode. So keep that in mind. Until next time, use your instincts to survive.